want to bomb your driver like Rory McIlroy, let me show you his split hand drill. This drill teaches the right arm action, and that is the secret to creating your dominant power source so you can bomb those drives just like Rory McIlroy. The beauty of this split hand drill is it teaches your right arm action without you having to even think about it for 1 second. It's going to show you the way, and you can create that feel, and you can just take that up to the golf ball and start creating the most powerful drives of your life. Now, with this drill, there's 3 different perspectives that you could be using your right arm. That is all based off of your trail hand grip. Your trail hand grip is your right hand for a right-handed golfer. It is responsible for the shape and all the characteristics of your swing. In this case, the characteristic we're going to talk about is how your right arm hinges and how it moves and how it creates the dominant power source with your body. So your right arm has an effect and your grip has an effect on the entire shape of your swing and how you create power. So it's going to be a little different for each one of the grips. Now you may not know, but there are 3 different types of grips that are used out on the PGA, LPGA, and all the professional tours, which is the hand could be placed on the top, on the side, or on the bottom. All 3 of these grips win major championships. We have Rory McIlroy, hand slightly on the top. We have players like Justin Rose, hand slightly on the side. He just won the last PGA Tour tournament this past weekend. And we have players like Zack Johnson, who have their hand more on the bottom. This is going to completely change how the right arm moves. Lucky for you, I developed an extremely simple test that will determine the exact placement of your trail hand, so you no longer have to guess about your swing, the shape, the characteristics, and how you're going to create power with your driver. So don't skip on the test, because once you know the placement, then everything is going to become much simpler for you when you start to think about your golf swing. Now, demonstrating how power can be created with the right arm and the 3 different grips. And doing it split-handed, like Rory McIlroy, because once we start doing it split-handed, the arm can only go one way. It's going to force the right arm to show you how it's going to move correctly. So we got players hand on top, Rory McIlroy. Here he is, split hand. He loves this drill. So he takes it up and back, and then boom. He's going to be creating more of a vertical power source just by the sheer fact that the hand and arm are working a little bit more like so, pushing downward on the club because of where it starts. Hand on the side, Justin Rose, here. His dominant power source is going to be more of a rotation, and the hand is going to be pushing along the side. One way to create power. There's multiple ways to do it. We want to find the one that's best for you, and you're going to find that by taking my test in the description below. Click that link and take that test and create some clarity for yourself. All right, hand on the bottom like Zack Johnson. Here we go. Arm moves back, and this one is going to create more of a slide or a sway action based on where the arm is on this specific training tool that I'm using today, just to show you how you can unleash that power right there at the moment when it counts, right there at impact. All right, now I'm going to share with you hitting some golf shots with my driver. Just want to show you the effects of how you can create power and whip with just understanding how your right arm should be moving. And we're going to go more in depth of how that right arm is going to be moving throughout your golf swing and share with you more about the dominant power source. So let's get into it. Okay, so how are we going to bomb it like Rory? We're going to determine our dominant power source, but understanding that there are 3 main sources. One is going to be the best and most dominant for you, but in every good golf swing, all 3 power sources are used, and that is the sway, the rotation, and the vertical. So all 3 forces are being used, but one is going to stand out more based on your grip. So we're going to start off with split hand drill, like Rory McIlroy. Rory McIlroy has his hand on the top. So do I. When I'm taking my own grip test, I've determined that I'm a hand on top player. So it's really easy to demonstrate his swing. And I'll also be showing you my very simple ball toss to help you learn the feel and the shape of your swing as well and create that dominant power source. So let's get right into it. The main simple thing you have to do is keep your hand on top the entire time. So if you test to be your hand on top, you're going to keep it on the top, 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 all the way in, and that's going to teach you, boom, verticals. If you test to be on the side, you're going to keep your hand on the side the whole time. That's going to give you more of a rotational feel. We're going to get into that in just a minute. And on the bottom is going to be more of that sway, and you have to keep your hand on the bottom of the club the entire way. Okay, so start off with the Rory McIlroy hand on top. The split hand drill is very, very easy to do. All you have to do is spread your hands apart. Start with your hand on top, and go ahead and just keep it on top, return it on top. Keep it on top, return it on top. Do a couple of those little pumps right there. It's going to give you the feel that you need to create your dominant power source. Another way to create the feel of your dominant power source is a very simple ball toss. So with players who have their hand on top, tested to be on top, which you can find that grip test in the description below. Take that test, click the link, and get on your way to the best golf of your life. But here we go with the ball toss. All you have to do is imagine throwing the ball like you're throwing a bouncy ball to the ground. You're going to try and make it bounce back up at you, and that's one way to show yourself the vertical forces. All right. The other way is to do a very similar drill to my flow and go that you've seen in other videos, but this is going to be 3 swings. We're going to do the split hand boom, 1, 2, 3. Feel my verticals, and you can go ahead and get that feel and step in. You're just going to try and recreate that feeling and let it push up. Boom. All right, it's very easy for me to demonstrate the Rory McIlroy swing because we have the same grip, so everything matches up there. Next, we're going to be looking at the grip on the side. Justin Rose is going to be our example for this. You guys may have seen on TV his extreme rehearsals. So he is rehearsing his power source every single shot without fail. It's the same exact routine. He understands his power source. He talks about it in interviews. He's talking about getting himself to lower so that he can turn. He feels like if he does too much of this, he's obviously not turning if he's swaying. So his feeling is to squat and turn, and that gets him into his dominant power source. Another simple way to feel that with the ball toss, there's that hand on the side. It's not on top anymore. It's not on bottom. Keeping it on the side is your theme, on the side the whole time. You're going to imagine that you're throwing a strike to the catcher's mitt, and that's going to get you turning and shaking hands with the target, showing you your dominant power source. So now you would just do your split hand drill with your hand directly on the side. Find the side and do those 3. 1, 2, 3, and that starts to show that easy rotation feeling without you having to think about it. That's why these drills that I give you guys are just to create a feel so you don't have to do all the thinking. The golf swing happens in less than 1 second, and there's no time for you to go in there and think about all these different things. Even Justin Rose, I was watching an interview, he talked about the same thing. He said he's just got a split second to get where he needs to go. So he's just trying to create a feel, step in, and let that happen. Okay, the next one is going to be the more hand under position of Zack Johnson. So just simply putting the hand under, if you were to try all 3 of these, you would feel that power source change, just naturally changing. It's going to change because the arm is having to fold a different way. So now our arm fold is going to be more like we are skipping a stone. If you guys have ever done that, you've got to keep your hand under, and you've got to get your body out in front, and then you can release and get that ball to skim across the water. So that's a feeling you can have to create that feel if you've tested to be hand under. You do the same thing. I'm not going to hit golf balls like with this in my hand, and it's not my grip. It doesn't feel right. So I'm going to demonstrate the 3 swings, creating that more of a slide there with that hand under. All right? So those are the dominant power sources. A very simple drill to help you feel that, which is tossing the ball, or the Rory McIlroy split hand drill. But to blend this all together, my flow and go drill is the easiest and best drill to help you learn the shape and the characteristics of your swing. Now that you know your dominant power source, you can just add that little feeling in. So my open hand drill is my favorite drill to help you learn the shape and the characteristics of your swing. And with that, all you have to do is follow one simple rule: hand on top, 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 top. If you've tested to be hand on top player, it has to be on the side, 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 side. That's going to give you the turn. Hand on bottom, bottom, bottom. Keeping it on bottom. That's going to give you more of the sway. So the open hand drill will teach you all those things. And now I'm just going to add in my one simple feel that we learned today, which is my power source. So for me, since I'm hand on top, I'm going to be feeling verticals. If I push, I'm going to get an extra 10 yards, 20 yards. Push. I can feel the power. I can feel things speeding up. All right, the flow and go just means doing 3 of those, stepping and hitting. It's a 10-second routine to hit the best golf shot of your life. So it goes like this. 1, 2. These 3 swings take about 6 seconds. Couple seconds to walk up to it, and then 1 second to hit it. And I'm going to push. Definitely gained an extra 20 on that one. Really pushed hard. Might be sore tomorrow, pushing as hard as I humanly can, but that's what the pros are doing. They're jumping out of their shoes to hit their best golf shots and bomb drives out there, and you can too. So try this very simple drill, and please consider liking, subscribing, and comment with your grip test number below so we know your results, and you'll be on your way to the best golf of your life.